Due to the potentially dark and frightening content of our investigations, this episode may not be suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ghosts, spirits, demons. What are these entities? What do they want, and why are they here? My paranormal investigation crew's goal is to answer these questions and others like them.
Who are you?
Questions we've been asking for centuries.
Why are you here?
We've assembled a crew of the most dedicated enthusiasts in the area to capture evidence of these entities. What we find might be disturbing, dangerous even, but we are prepared for the journey ahead of us. The question is, are you prepared to take this journey with us? It's midnight. Follow me into the darkness, guided only by Midnight's Light. This is Midnight's Light Paranormal. The village of West Alexandria, Ohio was laid out in 1818 and quickly began to expand shortly after.
By 1871, they had a little over about 400 people in the area. And then what really made West Alexandria boom was in 1886, the railroad came through.
The traction company employed many people who were instructed to live in the village due to the location of their maintenance buildings. This was a major factor in the increasing population. West Alexandria is home to many historic buildings such as the Unger House and the Old Hotel. It is also home to many businesses. One of these businesses is a restaurant known as Buckeye Jake's. Buckeye Jake started out as a residence and later became a boarding house. It was not converted into a restaurant until the early 2000s and was not Buckeye Jake's until 2011. Since the opening of Buckeye Jake's, many employees have had a range of paranormal experiences there. I'm here with Pam Barr, co-owner of Buckeye Jake's Eatery, and Adrian Gwynn, general manager. So my first question is, how long have you owned the building?
Tony and I have owned this for 6.5 years.
6.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And have you had any experiences here personally?
Personally, only once, probably about 4 months ago. And we were all in the back kitchen. It was probably about quarter to opening time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we'll unlock the side door if we're going in and out. And I heard the door open, and I heard someone say, "Hey, anyone there?" And I walked around and I looked, and there was no one there. And I came back in the kitchen, and I'm going, "Okay, did you guys hear that?" And that was the only time, but it was clear as day. I mean, clear as day. And the door was locked. So I knew that no one had come in, and I wasn't losing my mind.
Do either of you know about any employees that have had any experiences, like any stories that you've heard from your employees?
I've been here for multiple experiences and heard quite a few stories. So I think the one that sticks out the most would probably be a couple months before I started. There was a dishwasher who was breaking down boxes downstairs in the basement, and the lights got shut off. It wasn't a joke, like nobody was turning off the lights, but the lights shut off, and he heard just like somebody like breathing, could just like feel that cold chills, and he dropped fetal position on the floor with his knife. And he quit, and I don't think he's ever been back.
Oh, wow. That's...
So that's the one that sticks out in my mind the most. There's been times where there was an employee's phone that was in the server closet,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in the kitchen, and there was a family member who was walking by, and she thought there was a mouse that had ran by, and she's like, kind of screamed, said something, and she walks into the kitchen, and it was actually a cell phone that had slid from underneath the server station closet door and slid towards the kitchen. And there was nobody in the closet. The door was shut. There's just been like weird things. The clock has dropped off of the wall.
But the time was always wrong.
Yeah,
We'd always come in, and the batteries would be dead. It wasn't working. We'd buy a new clock. It would break.
And it wouldn't just like fall off. It would...
Like forcefully?
It would like projectile come like towards you.
Oh, wow.
And the police would tell us, we'll drive by about 2 o'clock in the morning. All the lights are on upstairs. We'll come back around 3. They're all off. And that would happen maybe once or twice a week. And no one was here. It's a pretty standard thing. We just drive by and they're all on.
So it's got to the point where when I took over general management, which was in August of 2014, I feel like I had a lot of problems. And we had a customer who had named the spirit Helen, so we always call her Helen. But it got to a point where it got so weird that when I would leave at night, I'd be like, "Good night, Helen. Have a nice night. I'll see you tomorrow." Or in the mornings, if I just got that feeling, I'd be like, "Good morning, Helen. I'm back." And everything's been, show her respect, and she shows me respect.
So, in you guys' opinion, what would you say the hot spots for this activity would be?
Definitely the basement. We call the basement Helen, so where that TV is downstairs, there's a room back there that we don't use. We call that Helen's bedroom. And then there's, I think this area right here. There's been multiple chairs moved, that's why when you said sit at this table, I was like,
We were very drawn to this part of this room.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. And what about you? Do you have any other places that you would add onto that list?
I would just say we've talked to a couple of our different employees that have seen a woman in white at the top of the stairs. One of the dishwashers saw a woman in white at the top of the stairs, and he didn't believe in ghosts or didn't even know any of our stories. And then one of the servers saw a lady in black, so I don't know if it was a time of mourning or so
We did have a customer that came in and wanted to record overnight because he didn't believe us. He thought that we were just, full of crap. And he left his recorder up in this room, and you could hear when I set the alarm at night, and then you could hear when the alarm was turned off in the morning, so you can hear it beeping.
Yeah.
And in between those times, you could hear perfect steps, coming up these, I'm assuming these steps because I think he left it on this table. You could hear what sounded like little scratches and some chairs moving.
Oh, wow. All right, well, thank both of you for sitting here and talking to me.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for letting us do this investigation.
We appreciate you coming out.
Oh, it's no problem. It's going to be a big one for us, that's for sure.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Before the interview, our psychic medium Steve did a reading of the building. While we were in the basement, he felt something strong coming from a closed-off room in the back.
I would like to go in there.
Steve felt that it was important that we share his findings with the owner, Pam.
Okay, I just want to tell you what I got here. The first thing that I got, right off the bat, was two men. Okay, they're similar. One's a bit stooped, kind of like that. I feel like they're father and son.
Okay.
They have passed on, of course, their spirits. And then there's a woman. And the one man is a dominant spirit here in this home. He feels like he has ownership of the residence. This is an old building, okay? There's been a lot of life, a lot of things that happened here. And this is now a public place. So whenever there's a public place, and I've experienced this many times, I've been doing this for over 30 years, there's transient spirits that come in and out of here that's attached to people. There's certain things that is so hard for me to describe. When I get something, I can't hardly describe it with words. But sometimes when a spirit comes in here with whoever they're attached to or whatever, it may decide, hey, I like this place, or this place might have a lot of paranormal activity, or somehow the spirit decides, oh, this is kind of a neat place or whatever. And the only way I can do it, and this is visual, but it's almost like they're taking a wire from themselves and hooking it to this place. And then they leave with their person, but they can come right back to this place in an instant if they want to. The other thing, and this is amazing to me, because I have never experienced anything like this ever in the many years that I've been doing this. So this house was a location of an actual spiritual battle between, and I don't even want to go as far as to say a negative entity, but something that wasn't pleasant. And whenever it entered this house, that dominant male went right after it. Like, you get out of my house. You
Right.
know, you do not belong here, or whatever. So he was in a battle with this spirit and wanted it to be removed, and he was having a hard time doing so. And I feel, and this just came to me, I feel like this has some type of tie to the physical world. Like, maybe this spirit, the one that had the negative vibe to it, somehow had an issue with this man, the dominant man that you know, the dominant male spirit
Right.
here, and entered this house, you know, just because he had an issue with this man. And this man's like, no, you do not belong here. This is a place of peace. You don't belong here. It wants to be able to leave.
Okay.
And here's the thing, I was told I can do it. I can make it leave.
Okay.
Last thing too, one of the transient spirits that I was just talking about, well, actually two of them, but one of them is a fairly newer spirit. And when I say that, I mean within the past 20 years.
Okay.
He passed when he was probably in his early 20s, and he was a bigger guy. He definitely passed while he was in a car accident, a car wreck. And I can't get a name, but I feel like he went by a nickname. And he came in here with somebody. You know, his spirit, he's a transient. He came in here with somebody.
With the business being a high traffic area, the existence of transient spirits that may have been attached to customers is very likely. Is Buckeye Jake's harboring an entity in the basement? Or is it just a crossroads for transient spirits? We intend to answer these questions and more on this episode of Midnight's Light Paranormal. The new thing that we're trying on Midnight's Light Paranormal is we're introducing guest investigators, and our first guest investigator is Kylie Moore. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Before the investigation even started, we caught some stunning visual evidence of a chandelier moving all by itself.
It's still
Nobody hit it? No.
No?
How? We're not tall enough.
That is crazy. That's the same one that was moving the last time.
Chandelier just swinging back and forth. Hold on. Get closer. See that?
It's still moving.
It's still moving.
This wasn't the first time that this had happened. During our interview, we also noticed the chandelier move back and forth briefly.
Real quick though, while you guys were talking, I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye, and that light was moving.
Really? In the middle?
Too. I
Yeah, that
heard
one.
thumps from up in the
It
attic.
was,
This one?
yeah, it was moving just like this.
With the investigation not even underway, we could tell that this was going to be an interesting night. As we usually do, we set up 4 stationary cameras around the building in places that we felt were hotspots. Camera 1 is set up in the upstairs dining room where chandeliers and chairs move. Camera 2 is set up in the basement with a clear shot of Helen's room. We've also placed a balloon in the room to detect any unexplained movement. Camera 3 is set up on the back staircase leading to the upstairs dining room. And camera 4 is located in the bar area, where the woman in white is frequently seen. We begin our investigation here at Buckeye Jake's by sweeping the building using our spirit box. What is your name? We decide to continue on to the basement where we get one of the clearest responses we've ever received. Hi. That was sounded like a female to me. Hi.
Hi. Are you telling me hi? Is there anything else that you would like to tell me? Because of the clear responses in the basement, we believe that we should continue our investigation with another device in the same area. We send Steve down with the Ovilus 5 to see if he can continue contacting the spirits and maybe even find out a little more about what's in Helen's room.
So far, I got statement 50 Gale.
We will periodically show a picture of the Ovilus 5's word log to show the words that were said.
Do you like what's going on here? This is a beautiful place. I just got a noise. I don't know if you guys picked that up. Right over in that direction. I don't know if anybody picked that up. But
Take another look.
do you like what's going on here? This is a beautiful place. Do you like what's going on here? This is a beautiful place.
With no more luck using the Ovilus, Steve decides to bring the spirit box back down to see if he can continue what we started.
Can you tell me what your name is? What is it? Okay, I can barely hear you. What's your name? You said the same thing twice. Is it Bob?
After the investigation, the owner Pam told us that a regular customer had recently passed away. His name was Bob.
I have another question. What's my name? Can you tell me what my name is? Do you know me?
Because we were looking for a specific answer, we were shocked when we heard the response. Listen again and see what you think.
Guys, I have full chills. My hair is standing up on my arms.
He's getting cold chills.
Well, what's going on? They were on my walkie again. Did you guys hear that? Are you doing that to my walkie? Somebody get down here, quick. Somebody get down here, quick.
It is said that spirits can use their energy to affect technology. What is even more compelling is that at the same time that the walkie-talkie was malfunctioning, we caught some strange orb activity in the upstairs dining room. Watch as the orbs seem to spiral and even multiply at one point. Because of this, we feel that we should move upstairs to continue the investigation. Steve and myself bring the Ovilus 5 with us to see if we get any more responses upstairs.
Push, puncture. Push, puncture. I'm trying to push us downstairs.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
I don't think you can do that. Monitor soul. So we're told that you come to this location right here a lot. Why is that? Church. Church? Sad? You said church? Sad. Oh, like a funeral.
Yeah.
Oh, because you died? Oh, that might be what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Could we be contacting a spirit who is telling us about their death?
Can you touch this device right here and make those lights light up?
What's keeping you here? And why do you come here?
Could the spirit have touched the camera instead of the REM pod like I asked it to? We decide to split up to cover more ground.
You need to take the Ovilus in that room over there, and I'll stay in here and do some EVP.
Okay, and when it says something, you want me to
Yell it to me.
anything else you want to say? Drive. Safe drive. Yeah, we'll be safe.
Hey,
Yeah.
didn't you say that one of the spirits that you felt here died in a car crash?
Yes, that's right. He definitely passed while he was in a car accident, a car wreck. Bar arrived. You're right. Sage. Did you say bar? Yeah, I'm here at the bar. It says bar arrived, like it knew that I arrived at the bar, because right there's the bar.
If there's any spirits in here with me, please talk into this device right here that has this red light.
Panel A window. Yeah, I'm right by the window. And there's a panel somewhere around here.
Oh, what about this panel that goes up to the attic?
I got panel H window.
Could they be talking about this old glass panel above the doorway? As you can see, Steve was standing in the doorway at the time that the word was said.
Make a noise. People hear you make noises here all the time. I know that you're capable.
Ledge. Okay, what about a ledge? Oh, like here? Right here? Or like here?
Could the spirits be telling us that they are watching us? After all, they did say monitor soul earlier, and they are now describing our location. As the responses begin to slow down, we notice that an orb flies out of the Ovilus and over Steve's shoulder as he turns around. Take another look. As we leave the second floor to return to base, I begin to be emotionally affected. I feel a cold wind come up behind me, and I feel as if my body is being entered by a spirit that is trying to channel through me. I am unable to breathe properly, and I begin to panic.
I know it wants to, he wants to leave.
I don't know. I'm getting emotional.
I just saw him.
I just got really bad cold chills.
We believe that this is a good time to let Steve face what is in Helen's room. During the interview, Steve was able to get into the room and notice some strange carvings on the wall. You can see the circle carvings here. He believes that he can release the negative energy by banishing it. While he does this, he leaves the spirit box running on the table just outside of the room.
Friend? Yes, friend. Did you guys hear that? Yes, I'm a friend. And I'm going to release this. It's in the room so we can go away and be in peace. Friend? Friend? All right. Okay, here I go. Okay, here I go. Okay, here I go. Here we go. Finally, we're going to be able to really do. There. Okay, I see you. In the name of the great architect of the universe, you may leave in peace, never to return again.
After releasing the energy, Steve feels the negativity leave the room and decides to invite me down for a quick spirit box session.
Does anybody want to talk to me now? Hey there. How are you? Does anybody want to talk to me now? Does anybody want to talk to me now? How many are here? 5?
I heard that. That's what I was about to say. It was 5. He said, and then it said no.
9.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have my right leg is chilling.
Yeah. 5?
I heard that. That's what I was about to say. It was 5.
Is the spirit correcting us by saying no 9 after we say 5?
Well, there's a bunch of you guys then. We're happy to talk to you. And thanks for talking to us, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thanks for talking to us, by the way.
Yeah.
And thanks for talking to us, by the way.
Yeah. You want us to walk around the building with this one more time?
What do you think? Say 5?
Sure.
Sure. What do you think? What do you think?
We head back to base to gather Kylie for a final sweep of the building.
Help? What did it say?
I don't know, but that was clear.
It's like it said help Ryan. Help? What did it say? Help? What did it say?
Who is Ryan, and how can we help?
Do you know anybody that works here?
Did you hear that?
No, what's it say?
No, it wasn't a word. I heard something like a... It almost sounded like a female, but not from the spirit box, but from like over there. It go, like, make a noise like that.
Oh,
Let's go over by the bar.
okay. Do you know anybody that works
Did
here?
you hear that?
No, what's it say? Do you know anybody that works here?
Did you hear that?
No, what's it say? So is there anything you want to say to us before we leave? Okay, what then? What do you want to say to us? You want to say goodbye? Okay, what then? Okay, what then?
As the responses stop, we decide that this is a good place to end our investigation at Buckeye Jake's. This investigation provided us with compelling evidence both through visuals and audio. We connected with transient spirits.
Hi.
And even a mysterious energy.
Somebody get down here, quick. Somebody get down here, quick.
We also showcased our first guest investigator, who proved to be a nice addition to the team. If you ever find yourself looking for a nice place to eat in West Alexandria, Ohio, stop by Buckeye Jake's. And if you see a woman in white roaming the restaurant, tell her that you were guided there by Midnight's Light.
Friend? Yeah, friend.
To get the chance to become a guest investigator on Midnight's Light Paranormal, message us on our Facebook page and we'll put you on the list.